Hi everyone, it's me. I'm doing a video. It's been a while. I think the last one I did was in July, but recently I did a poll on Instagram asking people if they wanted to hear more about under the skin spots. Surprisingly, about 50 people responded, and here I am doing this video. So the reason I haven't been doing lots of videos is because I started uni and it takes up a lot of time, still working part-time as well, but ultimately I don't have as much money as I used to have and can't buy products all the time. Also, I kind of don't want to clutter my bathroom up with loads of plastic. Yeah, so trying to just cut down in that way as well, and only use what I need and only buy stuff when I run out, which is fine. I'm happy with that. So under the skin spots, I've got one at the moment, and that's what kind of reminded me that I said I would do this video. I don't know how to really talk about it. I think maybe just to give some advice, maybe some products that help. To be honest with you, I don't get them that often. They're definitely related to hormones, so I might get one or two the week before my period, or if I'm eating a lot of sugar or I've been on a night out, I tend to find that I get an under the skin spot. So for me, it's definitely related to like how my skin gets rid of toxins. Yeah, so essentially an under the skin spot is one that doesn't have a head, so you can't squeeze it and nothing will come out. It's kind of under the skin, and it's basically like any other spot, it just doesn't have a head. So it's a collection of like dirt or dead skin cells that just gets trapped under the pores and creates a lump. Now, I think most people probably wanted to hear more about them, not because of how they look, because they're just like red lumps and you can cover them with concealer, but probably because they're so fucking painful. I hear so many people say like, oh, it's like I've got a second heartbeat or like a second brain, and I so know what you mean with that. This one is just such a stinger, and I don't even want to go near it. And that is my first piece of advice. If you wake up with an under the skin spot, do not fucking touch it. Just don't squeeze it. Nothing's gonna come out. You know nothing's gonna come out, so just don't bother touching it. One of my best friends recently was like, what do I do? What do I do? And I was like, just fucking leave it. Like, I know it's tempting, but just leave it. And she messaged me the next day and it had gone. So, you know, there we go. Just don't squeeze your under the skin spots. They're fucking agony. They get infected and it will take twice as long for it to go. I mean, definitely have a squeeze at like a blackhead or like a whitehead. That's fine. But under the skin spots are no-go. They're essentially like mini cysts, and you don't really want to push them further into your skin or cause infection. However, I am human, and I do sometimes think that something's going to come out of them, so I'll give them a bit of a squeeze. And when I do, I just put on some lavender oil. I get all my essential oils from TK Maxx because they sell really good brands. This is TISSERAND, and they're just cheap, so that's where I get them from. And I pop a blob of that on, and I find that helps under makeup as well, so not just like before going to bed, but if you've squeezed a spot and you're going to put makeup on, I always put a bit of lavender on. You can use tea tree as well, but I prefer lavender. I find it a bit more healing and calming compared to tea tree. Tea tree is more of like an antiseptic, so yeah, for me I just prefer lavender. So that's my first tip, is do not squeeze your under the skin spots. Second one is, again, it's really boring, but it's the truth, and you should all hear it, and that is diet, exercise, healthy living will affect your skin positively or negatively, depending on how you want to live, I guess. So for me, under the skin spots are definitely related to diet and hormones. I usually get them like a week before my period, which there's nothing you can do about that. However, I find if I eat better the week before my period, I tend not to get a spot compared to if I eat badly. This is because things like sugar and dairy can trigger certain hormones in your body called androgens, which overproduce the oil and can create spots. So for me, it depends on how good I'm feeling in terms of like, am I gonna like nourish my body the week before my period, or am I gonna give in and eat chocolate? A lot of the time I give in and eat chocolate and just stuff my face and end up with a migraine and loads of under the skin spots. So it's always best to go with the sort of healthy choice, I guess. Saying that, I feel like if I've had a cold or if I've been a bit sluggish, so like I haven't been exercising or moving around a lot, I get under the skin spots too. My theory is that under the skin spots are congestion, which they are, all spots are congestion. And when you don't exercise, obviously your blood flow isn't flowing as much, your lymphatic system isn't like working as quickly, so things just get a bit stagnant. And I think that's how they feel as well, as like big sort of like stagnant boils under your skin. So apart from like drinking loads of water, exercising, keeping your circulation going, one thing that you can do is facial massage, like either with your hands or like my favorite thing to do, and this definitely helps clear congestion, and that's a JADE tool. So you can use this on your chest. It can be quite painful because it gets quite red quite quickly. You have a lot of lymphatic node sort of drainage points here, so it's really good to use on your chest. You can see how red it's got already. But I use this, and I use this bit around my jaw because I feel like most people get their under the skin spots on their jaw, which is also related to hormones and digestion as well. So doing this every day, I feel like it really does clear my skin out. It just means that there's no opportunity for like those under the skin spots to brew, because I'm constantly sort of exercising the skin and clearing all the toxins out. So that's my theory. I feel like that works quite well. I feel like as well, like when I first used this, I went quite hard and did it for like 10-15 minutes, and like 3 days later I almost had like a trail of under the skin spots come out where it had been sort of cleared out. So I think these are really good. You can get them online. You can use jade rollers as well, but I feel like because these are sort of more of a scraping motion, you can kind of, I don't know, drain better with them. So yeah, and I tend to use that with like a bit of rosehip seed oil and then really massage it in afterwards and leave it on overnight. So those, I would say, not squeezing spots and using something like a jade tool every single day just to clear that congestion would probably be the most effective way of managing under the skin spots. Diet and exercise as well. Chia seeds I find are really good for digestion, and yeah, when my gut's working properly, I feel like I notice a difference in my skin. Sorry, I've got a really croaky voice. So yeah, those are the main things. And then I guess it's just like skincare and maintenance. And so this isn't necessarily for under the skin spots, but more for just oily skin and my skin basically. So once a week I use this, which is the Ordinary AHA peeling solution. It's the face mask that looks like blood. At my old work we used to call it the blood facial. I don't want to put it on because I don't want to waste any. So you put this on for 10 minutes. This is really good for sensitive skin actually. It's like a mild peel. So I put it on for 10 minutes and I find that really tightens my pores, makes my skin nice and smooth. It's obviously an exfoliator as well, so it's going to remove all those dead skin cells. And that's something that you want to be focusing on. If you get a lot of spots or congestion, like you want to be constantly exfoliating the skin. But that's my opinion anyway, and I find that works best. So 2 other ways of doing this are, I've got the glycolic acid toning solution. I don't use this every day. I use this when I've used this, just as like a double power. It's glycolic acid, so it can be, it can sting initially. My skin's quite used to doing peels now, so I find it doesn't sting as much. But this is like a toner that, I don't know, it's good. If you've got oily skin or you've got acne, I would probably recommend using this every day. Just swipe over after cleansing just to get the last bits of cleanser off, and also just to help tighten pores and exfoliate. The other thing I have is, this is like my bougie product that I'm like trying not to use, but I really like it. It's the CAUDALIE brightening essence. This also has glycolic acid in it, but lower levels, so you can use it daily, but it's really hydrating, and again it just kind of gently exfoliates, gives your skin a nice base, and hydrates at the same time. I do use that a few times a week just because I love it. And then obviously with constantly using acids and exfoliating, you have to protect your skin from the sun. There's been a few times where I've done like a peel, or I've used like a retinol serum, and then I've gone out in the summer and the next day like being covered in freckles where my skin's been just hypersensitive to the sun. So one thing I would say is, if you are interested or you want to start using like acids and doing peels, you have to be really committed, because you have to wear sunscreen every single day, and a good one too. So it's not just like doing the odd peel and your skin looks good for a day. You need to maintain it, and I think that goes for anything really in terms of skincare. So the SPF that I use, and I wear it religiously, my foundation it's really annoying, my foundation doesn't have SPF in it, which I kind of think just should be a given nowadays. Like if you're gonna make makeup, make sure it's got SPF in it. Like why would I wanna mix two together or have to add an extra layer? So this is the SPF that I use. It's factor 50. This is from La Roche-Posay, which is my favorite brand for SPF. They do great SPF for oily skin. This one is, yeah, it's the gel cream, and it doesn't feel like you've got anything on. I've got like a tinted one, and I have to say, like, it's only been in the last few weeks that I've stopped using this as a foundation, because it's like one shade fits all, but it adapts to your skin tone. So I've been using that for like all summer and up until like a few weeks ago, and I really, really like it. What I've been doing with my foundation that doesn't have SPF in is just mixing a blob with this on. I'm inside all of the time at uni anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But invest in a good SPF, I think it really makes a difference. Another product that I've been using, which helps with oiliness and can aid congestion, that kind of stuff, is the ordinary mandelic acid. So this is another one that helps tighten pores and exfoliates. It's also really good for pigmentation, but it doesn't dry the skin out. I know that a lot of people feel like with glycolic acid or the stronger acids that it dries their skin out. With this one it doesn't, and you can definitely feel like a sort of tightening feeling when you put it on, and I've noticed that kind of brightens my skin the next day as well. So overall, you're kind of just looking at like constantly exfoliating the skin in a gentle way. You don't want to be using like harsh sort of physical exfoliants. You want to be using like acids, just because they're a bit milder on the skin. They're sort of more easily distributed across your face as well. And yeah, I find that they work really well. But having said that, you need to use SPF every single day, and also that just helps with aging and that kind of thing. I feel like there's a bit of a thing at the moment which is like, oh, you should, people don't like the word anti-aging, or you know, all different skin types should be celebrated, which they should. But I think when it comes to skincare, when you look after your skin, it does tend to look younger. Aging is because your skin is going out into the sun and it's being damaged essentially. So if you use SPF or anti-aging skin products, you're just protecting your skin from being damaged, and that's it. I think wrinkles, lines, yeah, whatever, that's fine, but sun damage is something that ages your skin like out of everything else. So you may as well just sort of protect your skin against that. So that's it really, I think. I hope that's kind of helped a few people. I think under the skin spots are just inevitable for a lot of people. They're related to hormones, diet as well. So if you've got any kind of issue with your skin, it doesn't have to be under the skin spots. It could just be, I don't know, eczema or psoriasis. It always comes down to diet, and I think the healthier you are with your eating, the better your skin will be. But also, you know, if you want to pig out and eat chocolate, then just take responsibility that your skin might not be that good. That's just how it is. Sometimes I can be super healthy, exercise, look after my skin, and I still get acne. It's just how life is, so you shouldn't worry about it too much. But if you're going to take anything from this video, it's don't squeeze your under the skin spots. If you're going to put lavender oil on, use nice exfoliators and use SPF. I hope you've enjoyed that and it's been helpful. Thanks for watching, and hopefully there'll be some more videos if I can get around to it. Thank you, bye.